Hi, thanks, Pacham overnight volunteers. You guys fulfill a very important function for our Pacham hosting period. And the next few slides are going to detail some of the things you need to bear in mind while you're at the church during Pacham. It's not too onerous a task overall, but there are a few important things that you need to do to make sure that things are done in a safe and orderly fashion. First off, definitely arrive no later than 9:30, preferably around 9 o'clock or 8:30. If you arrive earlier, that just gives you more time to get acquainted with how the evening has gone, and the in-charge volunteer, who is a Pacham staff or a Pacham committee member, will let you know about that, and also gives you a chance to talk a bit to the Pacham staff member who's going to be spending the evening at the church, and also a chance just to get acquainted with some of the guys. A good way to do that is just to go into the TV room and just, as the occasion arises, engage some guys in conversation. And also just you might want to just walk past the tables where guys are still engaged in games or on their computers, or engage in conversation with evening activities, people that are still there, just to give you the opportunity to interact with the guests, and for them to give them an opportunity to feel comfortable with you. So as I mentioned, the Pacham staff member will be on site overnight. This person will handle any emergencies that arise or any difficulties that arise, and you should introduce yourself to them, and my experience has been that they've been very pleasant people to work with. So we're going to have 2 cots available. You will need to bring bedding, a pillow, and importantly, an alarm clock or alarm device. If couples are doing the overnights, you can stay in one room, but we do have 2 rooms in the wing leading to the daycare center available. I believe those are rooms 209 and 208 that we'll have set up for sleeping. Make sure that you keep the doors locked with your valuables in there, including jackets. So whenever you're not in the room, make sure that that door is locked. The in-charge volunteer will give you, or give one of the overnight volunteers the Pacham catering, which will not only have keys to the rooms that you're sleeping in, but will also allow you to access the bathrooms in the education building. It's especially important for overnight volunteers who are women, because that's where the women during the Pacham hosting period are going to go to the bathroom. Both the men and the women's bathroom in the gathering space are going to be used by the guests. You should ask the in-charge volunteer when you arrive at the door, when you get the keys, what to do with them in the morning, and that person will be instructed to give you that information. So this slide just shows you your basic responsibilities, and these will be detailed in the next few slides. So let's go ahead and talk about the first one, cleaning up food. Most of the cleaning of the kitchen will be done by the meals teams, but there will be some guests and perhaps some Pacham staff people that will be coming a bit later, perhaps after the meals team has basically left. So you just want to make sure that the kitchen is clean, and if there's any spillage in Fellowship Hall, that's cleaned up too before you go to bed. Note that we'll have 2 fridges in the kitchen, one for drinks. There'll be a small white fridge, and then the large silver fridge marked Pacham is the one for food items. Don't use the one that is labeled daycare center. We're not going to be using the galley kitchen in the gathering space, and we're not going to be using the coffee machine in the gathering space. They'll be actually blocked off. So we're doing like we've done in the past, using the coffee maker in the kitchen, and also any refrigeration or freezer necessities will be handled in the kitchen as well. Snack items are going to include items that the guests can use for breakfast, such as breakfast bars, and those snack items that will be consolidated in bags found in the library, and the key ring will have a key to the library as well. So the last bullet item in this slide talks about putting away the breakfast items. That's what we're referring to. You're not going to be expected to make cereal or any fancy breakfast foods in the morning like has been done in some years past. Just make sure that the kitchen is clean before the child care center staff arrives in the morning. Laundry should not be a big deal. It hasn't been a big deal for the past couple of years. We used to do laundry for a number of men on a nightly basis, but they have laundry facilities at the Haven. So basically we're just doing emergency laundry if a guest has had some accident, I mean not bodily accident, but some dirt and needs the clothing to be cleaned so that he can go to work in the morning. That's the sort of stuff that we're doing. And the in-charge volunteer will show you where the machines are and review the procedure for doing the laundry. Coffee, as I mentioned, is going to be done with the coffee machine in the kitchen. And you want to make sure that the staff person who's going to be awake overnight has a pot of caffeinated coffee made for him, for her, if he or she wants it. You need to make sure to take 2 packets of caffeinated coffee and 1 packet of the decaf back to your sleeping quarters, and lock all the rest of the coffee in the closet in the library. We've had some problems with coffee going missing in the past. That's why we instituted these procedures for the last couple of years. So in the morning, when you wake up, the first thing you want to make caffeinated coffee. 1 pack should be sufficient to, or actually you probably want to make both 2 packs. That will be sufficient to fill 1 large thermos, and you'll have some left over. And if need be, you can make decaf coffee as well, but sometimes the guests don't drink decaf in the morning. So you want to confirm the time with Pacham staff that the coffee's made and breakfast snacks are set up, but the guests should be get their wake-up call at around 5:30. So you want to wake up and start the coffee and get the food out between 5 and 5:30 in general. Before you go to bed, make sure that the doors to the internal or make sure that the doors to the library, but the internal and external doors are locked. And make sure that the outside doors to the library and to the Christian Education Building and as a whole are locked. And check the doors to the walkway to the sanctuary and the door to the gathering space from the parking lot. Make sure that those doors are locked as well before you go to bed. So in terms of restrooms, I already talked about how women are going to go to the restrooms in the education wing. Make sure that you check the condition of all the restrooms before lights out, and make sure there's an adequate supply of toilet tissue and paper towels. Those items are found in the library if we're running short. And make sure that everything's free-flowing. Plastic gloves, if you want those, are found in the kitchen. And lights out at 11 o'clock. Again, this will basically be handled by Pacham's staff. In emergencies, let the staff take the lead, but they will wake you up. Remind the in-charge volunteer to show you where the lighting controls and the janitorial supplies are. The lighting will probably be adjusted before the in-charge volunteer leaves, but it's a good idea to know where they are so you can adjust them in the morning perhaps. And janitorial supplies, if there's a requirement for extensive cleaning, it's also good to know where those supplies are. Hopefully that won't be an issue. In the morning, the coffee is laid out, the simple food items are laid out. We will have milk and juice, so pour that in pitchers for the guests. Importantly, check the restrooms before the guests leave. Make sure that we don't have any serious bathroom situations. This just eases the burden on Tom and Alonzo. It alerts Pacham staff if there is a problem. They have responsibility if there's a serious bathroom issue for arranging cleanup, and the guests can actually help with that if need be. So the guests sleeping outside the curtain area in Fellowship Hall, that is the guests in the gathering space, must move all their belongings into the curtain area before they leave, and all guests must leave by 6:30 a.m. There should be no guests on premises after 6:30. And leave the key rings as instructed by the in-charge volunteer. I'll remind you that you should make those arrangements pretty much the first thing in your initial conversation with the in-charge volunteer. Get those instructions. If you have any questions about your service or have any problems during your actual volunteer slot, please contact me at the email address listed, and you'll receive my phone number in a separate email. And also contact Claire Thompson, the meal coordinator, if possible, to provide an update on milk, juice, and other breakfast supplies. This can be done through an email. She and Lee Gatlin are coordinating our meals effort, and they need to be kept abreast of what we need to restock or what is in surplus and we don't need to restock for a while. And the introductory module will have links to further information on these topics that are listed. So thank you again for your service, and I hope that everything goes well, and please let me know how things went, and please remember to thank the Pacham staff members and to thank Tom and Alonzo when you see them for their service during Pacham.